1967 was quite the year for James Bond. There was not one but two Ian Fleming adaptations that year. You could have gone to see David Niven as Bond in the spoof Casino Royale, or perhaps you would think, I'm not seeing that silly ass shit. I'll wait a few months for You Only Live Twice. It has a much hipper title, named after the popular slang term, yolt. You Only Live Twice comes from the 1964 book of the same name, but it took the biggest radical departure yet from the source material. There's similarities in both. They're both set in Japan, where the movie was shot on location. Both have Bond using disguises to fit in. They both share the same supporting characters. But the tone here is radically different. The book was set after the tragic events of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, where we find a burnt-out James Bond who basically has a death wish in taking up the mission out of revenge and wanting to die from being emotionally damaged after losing his wife. In the movie, it's a Cold War adventure where American and Soviet spacecrafts are stolen to escalate World War III. On Her Majesty's Secret Service was intended to be the next film after Thunderball, but production stalled while looking for the right snowy locations that film would require. So in order to craft an entirely new plot for the film version here, they got Roald Dahl to write the script. Wait, really? Yep, that Roald Dahl, who formatted it to be more like Dr. No in tone, as he disliked what he felt was a travelogue feeling from the book. He collaborated well with director Lewis Gilbert, too, where this was the first of 3 Bond films to be directed by Gilbert. A ton of promotion went into it. What in the world is going on in this poster? Of course Bond can survive this, launch/volcanic meltdown. He sent a cardboard standee of himself in his place, which can already defy physics. They wanted to use its locations as a main selling point, too, where there was a promotional special on NBC titled Welcome to Japan, Mr. Bond, featuring Desmond Llewellyn and Lois Maxwell, where Moneypenny was trying to identify Bond's bride. All for a movie where Sean Connery basically wanted out of the role at this point. This is You Only Live Twice.
I'm watching my video. I'm watching my video.
Bloodshed is already present and You Only Live Twice. Sorry, gun barrel, but you only live, about 5 times at this point. As we pick up on location scouting for Moonraker, things are all good in the American Jupiter 16. Yep, the rear projection is working, but the chair wheels are a little squeaky in the control room. Gotta stand for a bit. Things get dangerous when they decide to adjust the signal so they can pick up a clear signal of the Bond Marathon on TBS. And an unidentified ship is closing in, and the person warning them is the local shop teacher who was put in charge.
It's another spacecraft! I repeat, it's another spacecraft!
We don't know how to explain this. We're being swallowed whole by a vessel with surprisingly little seating. Not all of us are gonna fit inside here. Don't worry about him. He'll find Dr. Frank Poole and they can hang out together. This is not going to go well at the next UN meeting at Epcot Center, where the Americans are pointing their fingers at the Soviets, while others...
May I ask what motive our Russian friends would have for wishing to destroy American spacecraft?
Because we got the eye of the tiger and they don't! Plus, the British have the right man for the job. James Bond, deep undercover in China.
Why do Chinese girls taste different from all other girls?
Not the best opening joke for a first date. No, hear me out.
Like Peking duck is different from Russian caviar, but I love them both.
Here's hoping Ling has a sense of humor. A simple boo and throwing tomatoes would suffice. He's just testing out new material. It's a movie that plays with the audience expectations, in that they knew at this moment it was Connery's departure as James Bond, so many went in not knowing if he'd die or not, let alone in the opening scene.
Well, at least he died on the job. He'd have wanted it this way.
Yes, much better death than being bought out by Amazon. Wait, is this the opening credits or end credits? We wanted a shorter movie than 67's Casino Royale, but not this much shorter. Kickin' theme song, though. This is a good movie, but it's not my favorite of the Connery Bonds, but it's got a beautiful theme song, probably my favorite of the Connery era, which goes perfectly with the Maurice Binder credits sequence. The theme was originally offered to Frank Sinatra, who turned it down, so instead vocals went to Nancy Sinatra after she scored a hit in '66 with These Boots Are Made for Walkin'. It was one of two proposed theme songs. The other, also called You Only Live Twice, was recorded by Julie Rogers, which is featured on the 30th anniversary Bond CD, but John Barry discarded it and rescored it, with lyrics by Leslie Bricusse, who co-wrote the lyrics for Goldfinger, and did music for Willy Wonka as well, and now we can get back to Bond not really being dead, or well, I don't know, it seems official. It's the first time we've seen him in his Royal Naval uniform. That's it, folks. Bring in Lazenby and let's chuck Shaun into the water. Hoo-hoo, now he's gonna find out if Japanese freshwater eel tastes differently too. It doesn't look like they're moving a dead body. It looks like a zany comedy where someone in a body cast fell into the water somehow. Yeah, Bond's not dead, by the way. Though he has an unfortunate scar on his face now. With that wit still intact, though.
Request permission to come aboard, sir.
Permission granted.
Sir, this is a mission barbecue. And since there's no scenes here where Bond is in London, they have makeshift MI6 offices on the go, including Moneypenny's headquarters and M's office. Sorry we're late in fetching you, old man. We had a time getting my marbled desk on board the submarine. Now that he's faked his own death, he's being sent to Tokyo, where MI6 suspects Japanese involvement after the spacecraft landed in the Sea of Japan. Now, if you'll excuse me, 007, I have a lot of books to read on this ship. I don't want it to be completely pointless. I brought along all these things on the sub, and Moneypenny brought along her subtle moves when giving Bond the password.
I love you. Repeat it, please, to make sure you get it.
Don't worry. I get it.
Now get me out of here, and change the password to I'll call you tomorrow, I swear. He wants out of there fast. Shoot him like a torpedo into Mount Fuji if you have to. Here, Bond will make good use of his time by checking out a Mondo movie in the red light district, sticking out like a sore thumb for a man who just faked his own death, and afterwards sumo wrestling and banging. I love this part where he's genuinely concerned about which way this will go if he uses the password.
I love you.
I have a Kanya bar.
She's not even an agent. Connery is just that smooth. Luckily, she is Japanese Secret Service agent Aki, played by Akiki Wakabayashi. Taking him to see on-location MI6 operative Henderson. We'll get there in a minute. We're not done yet shooting this car commercial. And I'm not so sure about this Henderson fella.
Do come in.
That ain't Henderson, that's Blofeld. Or, not in this movie at least. Not only would this not be the last Bond film for Connery, but also not the last Bond film for Charles Gray, who would play Blofeld in Diamonds Are Forever. They have a different relationship here.
Excuse me.
Like doing classic scenes from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Henderson has lots of evidence about the spacecraft and how it links to Japan, but it may not be the Japanese who did it, which means they have to get thicker walls when talking about their secret spy stuff. Interesting assassin. He's cold-blooded and stabbed Henderson, but also didn't want to breathe in any nasty germs. The mask was essential, so Bond could wear it while pretending to be the hitman. Get in, quick! That's funny. I don't remember you being a foot taller. And this heavy either. Good God, did you kill Henderson and then eat all of his leftovers? Why do I think they also wanted to shoot in Japan? Just for all the scenes where characters could be thrown through walls, and with furniture light enough that you could use it as a baseball bat if you wanted. The villains go over the top even when they fall. The extra tumble was just for him. And the drinks are for Bond, for better or worse.
Siamese vodka.
The secret ingredient is fish oil, Mr. Bond. Just like Bond to go for the alcohol before he goes for the secret documents. Damn it, lesson learned. Never crack a safe while drunk. Luckily for him, the security guards are even drunker. Well, that was easy enough. If they're bad enough shots when they're in the same room, that's a good sign that you'll make it to the car to escape. They have an inconvenient way of doing things at the Japanese Secret Service. Why bring Bond to your secret headquarters when you could lead him to a trap door? We hope it's you, Mr. Bond. You don't know how many times a businessman walking to beat rush hour accidentally fell through our trap door. This is head of Japanese Secret Service Tiger Tanaka, who has a lot of fun with his gadgets, while Bond is still embarrassed by the password.
If you're Tanaka, how do you feel about me?
I love you.
Do you taste different than Japanese girls? Let's take a break. Now that he's done with the slide, they're going to the trampoline room. Come see us at our upcoming convention appearances. We'll be at Planet Funk Con in Davenport, Iowa, June 27th through 29th. And new announcement, we'll be guests at G-Fest in Chicago from July 11th through the 13th, followed by Kineticon July 17th through 20th. I'll have plenty of copies of my latest book to sign too, and I hope to see you there. We're back, people.
My private train. I never travel in the streets of Tokyo.
Your spending is out of control here. Your own private train? Your Secret Service is going way over budget, but it's worth it for the sake.
Especially when it's served at the correct temperature. 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit like this is.
I am impressed by your Wikipedia research, Mr. Bond. Now they can get down to business. You're in my personal space, 007. I don't actually love you. Here a tourist was killed for taking a picture of a cargo ship, and Bond has to go undercover as a buyer for Osato Chemicals after the sex, of course.
Rule number 2. In Japan, men always come first.
Yes, that's unsatisfying and depressing. This appears inconvenient to have a business meeting, but it makes the cinematography sexier.
Now, massage. Which girl do you select?
Can I just sleep? You know what? Never mind. I'll risk those legs breaking my neck before Aki surprises him.
Aki.
Okay, more random than a spaceship getting swallowed. Now he's all massaged and sexed up for his meeting at Osato.
How do you do, Mr. Fisher?
I love you. What? Business first, and then love? Now Bond wishes they were doing another meeting at the baths. What kind of distracting-ass desk is this? He asked for the style of desk that looks like a cross between a mirror and cardboard. Osato could have also hired a secretary who isn't a dead giveaway that they're Spectre.
Goodbye, Miss Brent.
Goodbye, Mr. Fisher.
Kill him.
He's barely out the room. He probably heard you. Relax, they're not gonna be good shots anyway.
Get down!
Wow, they didn't even accidentally hit the car. We'll be able to get away from them easily. Hell, look at how they get captured. Yeah, Yes, the secret organizations who use the craft of subtlety to make sure no one can see what's going on. Give or take helicopters flying a car of assassins over the city and dropping them in the water, only slightly away from the shore.
How's that for Japanese efficiency?
Seems inconvenient if you ask me. This one is unique in that it's the only Bond film where Bond never drives a car. Connery was so tired of the role, he was like, I prefer a chauffeur, or I'll just walk everywhere and make the assassins easy to spot. We are strong to the finish because we eat our spinach, Mr. Bond. Connery's kind of going through the motions here, but he is such a powerhouse of suave and screen presence that he's still fun to watch, even if sometimes you can feel it in his unenthusiasm that he had a strained relationship with the producers while making it, and he was pissed at Bernard Lee and Lois Maxwell for appearing in the Bond ripoff Operation Kid Brother starring his own brother. He also wanted to get out of the franchise so he'd no longer be typecast, meaning he wasn't pleased when the poster said Sean Connery is James Bond. No matter, we'll make sure he comes back for Diamonds Are Forever. Your charms won't work here.
Well, enjoy yourself.
I love you? Gonna have to bring out the big lines to get out of this torture.
Oh, what's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this?
Jesus, had to dust that one off, didn't you, James? What are you doing? Helga Brandt is going to seduce you and try to kill you. For the love of God, her name is Helga Brandt. Connery's so tired here, he doesn't even want to unhook a bra. I mean, he did still make that look smooth. See, they're friends now. Or she's just furious he ruined her six-figure dress. Bond will be fine. He found his way out of a plane that ejected Goldfinger out the window like a turd. There, see? Smooth and safe landing. Then it's back to the baths. Baths later, Mr. Bond. We now know where the cargo ship was delivering the rocket fuel. Also, you have an old friend waiting for you.
Welcome to Japan, Dad. Is my little girl hot and ready?
Stay away from my daughter, 007. Here Bond is being delivered the most dangerous cases of Carrot Top props yet. It may take too long to build in real time, so this series of still shots will do. We had to do a lot to cut the movie down from 3 hours, which it originally was, but when producers were unhappy with that cut, they asked Peter Hunt to come back and do a re-edit, which made it just below 2 hours, and under the condition that Hunt could direct the next Bond film, which he did. There, this is perfect. No one is going to trap my hands with a 2x4 on this aircraft. Drones were much more complicated in the 60s. You had to fly it yourself, like your Sky Kid. Who is that? Oh, just another MI6 agent again. He's got the right idea, though. This is a movie with Blofeld in it, so it's gotta have something to do with a volcano. He'll have a volcano base around here somewhere. Look, helicopters are now trying to shoot him down. Was I that noticeable up here? He may not drive a car, but he drives a mini-copter with gadgets. Okay, so just don't get right behind him, or under him either. We had no idea he'd be dumping bombs on us like a stork dropping babies in the zoo. Oh my God, before we all die, tell our families it was a much larger craft that took us out, and not a children's toy you'd see flying around in the mall. But anyway, as the Russian rocket is also going up, silly Americans, you'll never catch one of our ships getting swallowed up by, oh crap. It could be Spectre, or it could just be this poor fool floating around in orbit still. Wait, nope, it's weird space porn again. Comrade Porkins is very disturbed by this attack. Let's take another break. They gotta settle in and get comfortable before they head down to the volcano.
Saturday. I'm flying this stunt with or without you.
A dangerous stunt comes between Stringfellow and Dominic, but it proves to be more than a movie, as an international privateer uses Stringfellow in a gold heist.
You only live once.
Saturday. Tomorrow on CBS.
Welcome back. The shuttle just took a crap. Spectre has quite the budget. Not only can they snatch up rockets in orbit, but look at this massive volcano set. That speaks a lot towards the movie's budget too. At this point, the film's budget to build the volcano base was bigger than the entirety of Dr. No's budget. Not to mention...
Withdraw, captive spaceship.
The Friskies cat food budget. 75 minutes in and we see a little bit of Blofeld and a lot of the tropes that go along with parodying a character like this, such as a random pond of piranha in his office.
You will see that my piranha fish get very hungry. They can strip a man to the bone in 30 seconds.
That's just a jacuzzi. There's no fish in there. Woof! Dr. Loomis went mad when he officially took over Smith's Grove. What kind of psychological testing is this?
Do you know what gun this is?
Water PPK.
No, it's a squirt gun. I think it will be useful to keep whiskers off my desk. And he is furious that Bond is still alive. Almost as furious as that cat who is tired of being pet this hard. Someone's gotta pay. Oh my god, there really are piranha in there. He's gonna strap lasers to him next, isn't he? And where's Bond at?
Hello.
Bad news from outer space.
Yes, I heard it. Now the Russians are accusing the Americans.
Ah, putting the plot in layman's terms. Thanks, Bond. You know what this movie needs?
Do you have any commandos here?
I have much, much better. Ninjas.
To become more like a canon film, I agree. But Bond is confused by this turn.
Ninjas.
This looks more like a slumber party. Am I supposed to take them for pizza afterwards? Geez, what started as a Dr. No clone is now turning into Street Fighter's Last Revenge. You know, the one where they turn the Street Fighter into James Bond. Why do I have the feeling that the 3-hour cut was just more extended training sequences? And it was nice of them to remodel Q Branch for their ninja training session, where the ninjas are learning the art of just shooting their opponent. Seriously, it is a Q scene. He's showing Bond his new rocket bullets and exploding cigarettes. You didn't invent those. You got them from the same gag store Pee-wee goes to. Well, makes sense to me. James Bond has to stay on the island, pretend to be Japanese, and be in an arranged marriage. Sure.
You must marry Amaga.
Is she pretty?
She has a face like a pig.
Yes, but does she taste like bacon? Here we come to the famously unintentionally funny section of the film, where Bond has to undergo this high-tech turning Japanese I really think so disguise. It looks like I'm watching behind the scenes of Breakfast at Tiffany's on the Zardoz set. It comes across like I'm watching a weird role-playing bedroom thing. Maybe you could have made the disguise better if you didn't spend all your money on your own personal trains. It even affects his sleep, where he rolls over and the poison goes into Aki's mouth. Now he is fully trained as a ninja spy. Sorry about your love interest, though.
Doshida.
She's dead.
Don't be too sad that she's gone. You've got training the next day. On the one hand, it's like, well, at least this is supposed to be a disguise. Usually when I see something like this around this time, I'm supposed to believe, oh, Alec Guinness is a real Japanese man. Seems legit. Here, it's more that no one would buy this. What's the point? Like so, what part of Scotland are you from in Japan? This whole fake wedding thing would mean something more if it came after the events of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but here, it's random. Also, we can introduce another Bond girl after Aki's death, this time being Kissy Suzuki, played by Mei Hama, as both she and Aki were in King Kong vs. Godzilla. Short honeymoon, though, as they have to continue their mission. The plan is working. Everyone really believes you're Richard Burton. At least Bond is with a familiar voice. Kissy is dubbed by Nikki Vanderzil, who also dubbed Honey Rider, and even Tiger Tanaka is dubbed too, him by Robert Rietti, who dubbed Adolfo Celli in Thunderball. They're running out of time, though. World War III is about to break out, so they have to find the secret base fast. Probably could have found it sooner if you didn't get caught up in this side quest. We are on our way. We'll be there in 5 weeks, once Kissy is done posing for the island swimsuit calendar. Give us a sign where Blofeld is located. Oh, over there. We may need to relax, though. I mean, we can't do this mission in your underwear and not make out a little. Why not? World War III ain't that important. They really should have combined these two characters, because here, we barely know you, but they're acting like she's been in the movie the whole time. Though the helicopter just went inside that volcano, so guess we should do our jobs. We'll be back. He'll be working on getting that door open for a while.
Friday.
Why so glum?
Had a tough week. It couldn't be any worse than what these stars are going through.
Let's get the show on the road. This island's a death trap.
That could be the hottest place on Earth.
Oh, boy.
William Holden, Veronica Hamlin, Barbara Carrera catch a wave in Earth's Final Fury Friday.
We're back, and Bond's gonna do this all on his own, because he's a ninja now. Yeah, this is all very high-tech and impressive and all, but where's the spinning roulette wheel gun from Casino Royale? Now that was innovation. I love how his Japanese makeup was so bad that I can't tell if it's still on him or not, and I love that Bond rescues the astronauts, but mostly lets them do the fighting. He is a ninja, so he'll kick at least one of them in the face. As for Kissy, they must be shooting piranha at her. The action will pick up in the volcano.
Reserve astronaut to stand by.
Well, simple but effective. Hey, if they believe you're a Japanese man, surely they'll believe that you're totally one of the astronauts meant to go up in this secret Spectre ship.
Stop that astronaut. Bring him to me.
Stop that astronaut!
Oh, I gave it away that he smells the most like a vodka martini. It's gonna be awkward when he recognizes someone. You never really loved me, did you? This is a good reveal, though.
I am Ernst Stavro Blofeld.
And what movie are you in?
They told me you were assassinated in Hong Kong.
Yes, this is my second life.
You only live twice, Mr. Bond.
That's the one I'm watching. That old faking his death thing really didn't play into much. It's just there for the title. I'll give it to Donald Pleasance here. He's really not in it much, probably less than 10 minutes, but crafted such a unique look for the character that it's not only the definitive Blofeld look, but has been the source of parody for decades, particularly with, well, duh. And he wasn't even the first choice. Jan Werich was originally cast as Blofeld, but let go because producers thought he looked too much like Father Christmas. I'm thinking too that it was this guy who gave Blofeld his scar. I do wish he was in it a lot more, but the climax is a good spectacle like usual, and Bond's knowledge of his Looney Tunes gag gifts come in handy. Oh God, menthol! While it didn't make as much as the previous, the film was still a big success. It was the 7th highest grossing movie of 1967. The critical reaction was mixed at the time, since by this point, the Bond franchise was competing with other spy movies that tried capitalizing on it. So with this one, it was seen as more of the same without doing too much to drive the series forward, and that's pretty much the feeling on it now too. There are notable things about it. It makes great use of Freddie Young's cinematography talents, as he'd won Oscars for shooting Lawrence of Arabia and Dr. Zhivago. You have the Blofeld appearance too, which is iconic.
This is the price of failure, Mr. Bond.
I killed your one true love. Then there's the theme song, which is one of the best in the whole Bond library. And of course, there's the part that's memorable for being ridiculous. But about 90% of it does give off a been there, done that vibe when you really want it to grab you and take the series forward. I'd love to have seen what it'd be like if it were true to the material and came after On Her Majesty's Secret Service with Lazenby still in the role. But as it is, it's one of those Bond movies where if it comes on during a marathon, it's not like I'm like, I'll check back in later. It's more like, this'll do. Maybe one of the better ones will be next. See, Blofeld's getting away. We'll see you later when you're Telly Savalas. The ending of the book was also more impactful, where Bond kills Blofeld, then suffers amnesia and contemplates a new life in Japan with Kissy, whereas here, it's mainly just waiting to see when the henchmen will be fed to the piranha. Cut me off a piece while you're at it. And everything's fine. The ship had a self-destruct button. Put World War III on hold, gentlemen. That problem took care of itself. Same with the self-destruct feature in the lair. Oh, God! Blofeld promised he'd give us a running start first. It's okay. Just swim past the lava. You're good. As long as there's a raft that comes with an oar and sexy time.
Now, about that honeymoon.
You don't even know each other's last names. Hard to believe this was supposed to be Connery's last scene as Bond, where he's cock-blocked by a submarine, before advertising that the way better movie will be next. The one that my prized Her Majesty's Secret Service action figures have been waiting for. But if it's 80s James Bond you want, specifically 1985, with the 1-2 punch of Max Zorin and Mayday, check out that film and hundreds of others in the Cinema Snob's near 5.5-hour retrospective of 1985 in film, now public on Channel Awesome.